Welcome everyone, and be welcome over here. Gonna do an educational vid today. A lot of questions and DMs, and I understand it. I really get it because my posts are how to say, new followers that are watching my vids. Or watching my posts on Twitter. They just don't get it. It takes time, guys, because most of my followers, my retail fam, they know me for years now, and they know how to read what I share and when I share it. And my style is very simple. I will never tell you what to do. It's very simple. I've got a team. Who's the team? Because a lot of people also question me, who's the team? Team are 6 people. 6 people. I've been with these guys for like, what is it now? Maybe 7-8 years ago. We've been trading, and I had a trading group, and I was trading leverage. I was trading a lot of leverage. And let me just say this, so we don't have to talk about this a lot more. There are a lot of things in my life that I can do. If there is something that God gifted me, so it's I educated a lot, but I see it more because I'm a religious guy. I'm gifted, but for personal private reasons, I don't leverage trade anymore. And these guys, this team, they still leverage trade. I've been educating these guys for like 3-4 years, and they are really good traders. Really good traders. I'm not going to show you guys a balance sheet or whatever, but let me just say this. These guys are better leverage traders than almost all live on CT and or on YouTube. Or that's why I've always said, all those guys that have paid programs, paid tools, paid indicators, paid whatever, let's openly challenge each other. Let's do a challenge, and let all CT, let all retailers on X see what we're going to do. We're going to do a trading challenge, and I'm not even going to, I don't even have to get it. I just let them challenge them. And nobody responded. I've asked them several times, but okay, it's not about that. What is very important now at this moment is I get some questions about my blur. Yesterday there was one of the retail fam. I don't know. It was a woman, I think, and I saw blur pumping out of nothing, and then I did some research and checked, and it was listed on Binance. And she answered me, and she told me, wait a minute, MB, I have a bag of blur, and it's pumping, and I don't even know why it's pumping. So I told her, wait a minute, it has been listed on Binance, so you have to be very careful. So if you own a bag, maybe it's time to take profits. And it was to me very surprising that she didn't even know that. So you can imagine how uneducated people, retailers, are in CT. They are so uneducated, because you should know that when a project gets listed on Coinbase or on Binance, especially these two, it has a big impact, and they will pump it, and they pre-pump it most of the times. But what happens a lot is, after that pump, it ends up with a dump. There are maybe 1%, 2% max of projects that are so FOMO'd in that even when they get listed, they even go higher. So that's something to keep in mind. But an old project, and those are mostly new projects. Now, Blur is no new project. This thing has been here for a while now, so it has gotten listed. So I warned her. I told her on CT, on Twitter, when she posted to me, I told her maybe it's time to take profits, because you have to be very careful when this pump came in and you're holding an old bag. Just take profits. So that's number one. Number two is Blur. Why? When I share something, when I share charts, when I share my chart and I share it being listed, and you have to be careful, and even if you're holding a bag, maybe it's time to take some profit, to take some off the table, etc., etc. The team, and also all the retail fam members, when they see me sharing charts, they act on them, they read them, they understand what I'm saying over there. And I'm no oracle or whatever. I'm just, you know, I'm God gifted. God gave me this talent, and I get it wrong sometimes, but I get it right more than wrong. That's why I do what I do. So when I share something like that, it's a possible short opportunity if you short. And you have to see how and why. Well, in the Mexc friend group this morning, I told them the team is shorting. I shared it in the Mexc TG private group, because this is a group, and the team, I'm negotiating with the team that they can help retailers that did sign up with the Mexc friends group. So that there's a group that are using the affiliate, and they are trading over there. I told them, team, listen, could you please help these guys educate? Well, in the team, it's there are a lot of things going on. Let's just say not everyone is like me. I do everything for free, but there are a lot of people, they just don't want to put in efforts and time for free. So that's a bit of negotiation going on. So okay, we have cleared this out. By the way, guys, before I start doing this, I was a bit irritated this morning, and I was a bit angry. And why was I angry? I made a vid about Mexc. I made a vid about Mexc. I explained in my vid in half an hour on how to trade without paying any fees, with zero fees. People, retailers, are paying sick amounts of fees. In that vid, I explained step by step, and I explained also why and how and etc. Why you should trade on a Mexc, because you're not paying any fees, even if you're leverage trading and you know how to do it. And I also I explained it and I showed it live. I made some trades over there just to show you how to trade and pay zero fees. The vid had got like something like, I don't know what it was, 83 views. 83 views. And that's when I started thinking to myself, okay, wait a minute, MB, what am I doing? What am I doing? If there are only 80 views, and possibly this will be people that have been following me, so my old followers, I was thinking to myself, why am I making these vids? For who? For who? Just to put them on YouTube? I'm trying to reach a lot of retailers that are in some FOMO groups and in paid groups and etc. are getting wrecked or getting deceived and going to lose a lot of money, like almost all people in crypto lose a lot of money. I'm trying to help them understand and see how they can save themselves from getting wrecked. And what do I get in return? 83 views. I thought to myself, what am I doing? What am I doing? So I decided, don't get angry, whatever. I just gonna make those vids to the ones that watch them and just make them private. There's no need for me to put a vid on. And also this vid, I'm going to make this vid one time, and my next vids, I will make vids. It's not that I'm not going to make vids, but it will be just educational vids, and it will be macro vids, and people that do understand what I share and what I say can make a lot of money. But the specialized vids, so step by step how to do something, etc., those will be only in the private group. So I suggest I'm going to do this one. I'm going to share this one also on YouTube for once, and then I will only do it in the private group. So okay, what made the team short? Okay, how did they find an entry? So first of all, when you look at a chart, the first thing that you do, I suggest that everyone does this, always zoom out. Go on the weekly. So go on the weekly and zoom out. Any chart I open, I check, I zoom out on the weekly, because a lot of retailers, when they go charting, they go chart on the 50 minutes, on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour. Guys, first always look at a big picture. So what are we seeing here? This is the Blur Bybit. So you also have to always look on what exchange, because if I would use another exchange, this was the moment that it got listed on Bybit. So maybe if you go to KuCoin or whatever exchange out there, the chart will look a bit different. But I use this one because this was the one that I found that had enough history for me to start charting. So the first thing that I look for when I open a chart like this, okay, well, we had a nice bottom over here, and then we went up. So I had to do Blur. I had to do some research. So I just googled Blur. What is this? Because I really don't know this coin. And what did I see? It's an NFT, something like they want to do the same like OpenSea, I think, or whatever. Well, as you guys know, I'm no fan of NFT, and I think it's all a scam, and I think it's all a lot of bullshit. Just as simple as that. As for sure there will be some NFTs, maybe something very valuable, and maybe that has got another use case, whatever. I'm not going to a discussion on that. I just think that that NFTs are a lot of crap, and it's a millionaires club, and only they make money. And the most famous people on CT, they're all known that always shilling NFTs. I just don't believe in NFTs. So when I knew that it was an NFT, that gave me more confidence to look for some resistance levels, and the team also knows this. So I would short the shit out of this one, especially it's an NFT project, and it's also listed on Binance, so it's time to short the shit out of this one. Okay. So first of all, the first thing that I saw was this. We've got this liquidity level over here. This was the first one. So as you can see, we broke this one already. So we went up it. You see it here? We went up it. So, okay, let's make a box. Let's just make. So over here, this is the first box. What you can do is you can do the same like me when you're at home and you're charting. Make a box like this. Okay, so this was the first liquidity. You can even make it a bit bigger just to make it easy for this bit, and just push this up to here. So over here we can see that we've got a lot of liquidity over here. So what meaning that there are people, or there are whatever that bought in maybe at these levels and are trying to get out at a break even or whatever. So what you're gonna do is this: put the line over here, make the same box over here, exactly the same. Okay, so here we're now on the weekly. We found a liquidity level, so this box is very important to give there is liquidity over here. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the daily. So when we go at the daily, and then what are we going to check? We're gonna check, we need an entry. We need to find an entry because we want to short this. So the first entry that you could find, that you could hit, is this one at the 69 over here, because as you can see, this line over here, you see we've got rejection over here, rejection over here, rejection over here, rejection over here. We got some price movement over here. So this is an entry. But does that mean, wait a minute, okay, so this is an entry, so this means that this is the top and over here it will come down? In this case it did, but you never, it could also shoot up. So when you're leverage trading, but I'm going to save this for my leverage trading bit that I'm going to make. You have to DCA, just like when you DCA buy on spot when price comes down. In leverage trading, it's the same. Never open one position on one price level. It's very, very, very risky. You just don't do that. You just like, suppose over here at the 16 hours first, maybe you could even start at 67 or at 68 or at 66 or 65 or 64. It doesn't matter. You can start DCA. It goes higher, you buy a bit more. It goes higher, you buy a bit more. It goes higher, you buy a bit more. You go higher, you average in. So your average entry will higher up. The higher it goes, the more you buy. Because why? We have determined that this box over here will be resistant. So we're expecting, just like I'm always saying, plan, analyze, plan, believe, strike. So the analyze is this, what we did. We analyze this, and then we're planning. What are we going to do? We're going to start over here shorting slowly, slow amount. The higher it goes, the more I add to my short. And at some point, it reached over here, and then over here you've got a small back. Suppose it's too small because you want to higher up your position. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, that's when our indicator comes in. Let me lighten up this a bit so you guys can see it better. So this is when we go to lower time frames. We go to the 4 hour. So this is when you put on the indicator. The indicator is over here. Okay, fine. First of all, what you do, you go to the 50 minutes. You go to the 50 minutes. I'm going to tell you exactly what the team did. So what the team did, they did not make an entry over here. Why? Because these are really pro traders and they are really zero greed, and they don't care when they lose a trade, miss a trade, because they can trade 1,000 charts. So they did not enter in this box. So they did not DCA or whatever. They waited. What did they wait it for? They waited for the first candle to come down below the indicator, because if you, as you can see over here, we're going here is where the FOMO hit in, and we came down, test over here, test, they're eyeing this, test up, and here was when they saw the first momentum of weakness getting into blur. That's why this indicator is so important. It shows you when the momentum falls down of a coin. So what they did is, at these levels, at 46, I think, yeah, it came down, it closed below it, and what very often happens is when the indicator gets broken out, it comes back to retest it as resistance. So they need confirmation. Wait a minute, it break below it, okay, fine, I'm not going to jump in here, no, I'm gonna wait to get it retested and see if the bears will take over, if the bears will flip over here. So over here they flipped, and over here somewhere is where they entered the short. So they entered the short and they went in, and over here we closed above it, but they were still holding it, because when they go in, they will not sell, and if it goes higher, they will add to their short. Over here we break down, and over here is where they added to their short, so they added even more to their short, and we're going down. Over here is when they took I think it was something like 30-40% of their position. They took it out. They took their position out. They took profits, and these are a lot of profits, guys, because as you can see, let me show you. So somewhere around here. So this is a drop of, look at this, guys. This is 9%, and on a 10x it's 90%. And when it depends on the amount that you do, or how confident you are, and how much risk you want to take, it's a lot of money. 9% drop is a lot of money. So now they're still running in, they're still having a position over there, but very important, they keep an eye on the momentum. So if this thing gets broken, they might take more profits. And you know, wait a minute, yeah, they took profits over here on this drop, and over here they can take more profits. But wait a minute, they had a lot more profit. Yeah, that's the risk you have to take. That's what a professional trader, no greed. So over here, suppose they had like 5k profits, and over here they got like 3k profits. They don't care. When the momentum gets broken, they're still in profits. They take more profits over here, because this thing could also be over here somewhere. That's the risk. When you're risking, you have to, I don't know how to explain. I think you all get the point over here. So they took profits over here, and they can also take profits over here. They can even put it on the 5-minute chart, and they were going to check it on the 5-minute chart. Wait a minute, momentum is creeping in. Let's take more profits. It will be less profits than over here, but that's the game they play. It could also be what they could do. Suppose that this thing runs up. And it gets rejected again over here. They could even add to their position again. So they took like 40% out, and they will put in another 20%. And if the momentum hits in and it closes above it, they will take profits and go out. So this is the style that you have to. You're a trader. You have to minimize your risks, and you have to maximize your gain possibilities. So that's what it's all about. And I'm not going to say much more about this. I've really explained in a lot of details now how, when, and why. And I will tell you how I would short this if I was shorting. It's very simple. This is how I would short it, because it's not only about the indicator. I would short it like this. This is what I would do. I will make a line over here. Before this, I'm telling you this before this one even gets created. So suppose we were over here, I would eye this one. Okay, we've got a hit over here, rejection back. Over here was I would, especially with this line, because on the bigger time frames we got this line. I know that here there is a lot of liquidity over here, and I combine this with this one. This would be for me an entry. This is where I would be going really big in, start DCA big in a short, if I would leverage trade, and I would have nailed this one. I would have nailed it. But if I'm just showing you guys how I would do it. The team didn't do it this way, but I would open definitely, because it came together. This line with this trend line, this would be really the perfect entry for me to open a short over here. But then again, who am I? Just sharing this. Have a nice one. If you want to join the MC Friends group, there is a link below. Lowest fees, 0 fees. If you want to watch my Mexc vid, watch my Mexc vid. I show you live how to trade and pay 0 fees. 0 fees. I think that I'm the only influencer in whole CT that is showing you guys how to trade on 0 fees on Mexc Global. Yes, I partnered up with them, but let me tell you this. If you pay 0 fees, because maybe some people will say, because I got a DM, wait a minute, you're shilling Mexc and you want us to use your affiliate because you're gonna make money out of us. No, that's what the other 99.9% is doing. Think about it, because if you don't pay fees, Mexc is not paying me any fees. Understand why all the big famous accounts are shilling all the exchanges out there, because they get a big chunk of the fees that you are paying. Why would you pay those fees if you can do it on Mexc for free or for 60-70% lower costs? Go to your exchange right now, open up your fee numbers and check how much fees you're paying. It's sick. But then again, I'm a bit done. You know, I've got in the TG group. I've said enough about this, and I'm really getting tired of people. People are so stupid. People are really stupid. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. You just show them. There was like one member told me, MB, listen, when people see you sharing alpha for free, and you're even showing us to go trade on 0 leverage fees, on 0 fees, what are you getting out of this? Why are you doing this? Exactly. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this to help the freaking retailers that are getting wrecked out there and paying fees to make whales rich. That's why I'm doing this. Now, MB, you have to get paid programs and you have to ask money for your alpha, and that's when people start to love you and start to follow you. As long as it's for free, they don't trust it. This is the world that we're living in at this moment. The moment someone tries to help or talks truth or talks, and I'm not only talking about trading, I'm talking about political, about everything. The moment someone starts to talk truth, he will get attacked and people don't trust it. That's how sick our world has become. Have a nice one and bye-bye.